Zeidoktor here, and this episode of the Typical Manga Review is dedicated to One Piece, Chapter 854, What the Hell Am I Doing? And our cover of this page is Zoro getting his motor running, riding a Harley with Chopper on the front wheel. Just digging it. I'm going to ask right now, who here saw this cover and thought that was Smoker at first? Because let's face it, there is like way too much similarity there. Anyway, we open up with Nami and Jinbei. Nami is riding on top of Jinbei's shoulders, and they're pretty much being chased by all the forces of big moms that can come around them, and they're threatening to surround them. But then Nami is, well, Jinbei handles the front. He asks Nami to take care of the ones behind them, and so she uses her Thundercloud Rod, and zaps a whole bunch of guys behind them, which she realizes just a little too late. One of them is Chopper. Like, she has this little expression like, wait, did I do something here? And Kara explains that they've come to save them, like, and so they immediately get Jinbei and Nami into the mirror world. While Kara checks on Chobro, Pedro is perched on top of the chariot, and Brule is questioning Jinbei about his betrayal. She also points out, despite the fact that he was looking to quit, he was too scared to step up to the roulette, which Jinbei acknowledges. Like, Mama protected Fistman Island for me. I tried to keep everything on the up and up, but that wheel smells only of death and ill will. And while some of them are wondering about roulette, when Pedro notes that Jinbei was right not to try his hand at that roulette. Like 5 years ago, one of my comrades, in Hope of Salvation, spun that blasted thing and stole away his life. The thing is designed to ensure that anyone who spins it dies. Which Brule acknowledges, like, the leaving don't get to live. The little invaders, formerly loyal pirates, all that come are welcome, and all that leave die. That's when I'm like, ah! Brule's attempt at, like, scaring them, like falls flat when they send the chariot off again. And also Deal is complaining that they can't, there's too many for him to carry. But they've only got Luffy, Brook, and Sanji left to find. Speaking of Brook, we go to Whole Cake Chateau's, the Queen's Chambers, and Prometheus, the son, has got a bandit on his cheek. It's like he's in pain because the wound apparently reopened. He's complaining that Brook's wound is deeper than expected. Big Mom first calls him pathetic, but then changes her mind and congratulates Brook on a job well done. This is the first time you three have ever been injured, isn't it? And then we see that there's a seems to be a bandage on Big Mom's hat as well. No, so can't see from Zeus just yet, though. And wondering if Mama's just going to hang that bag of bones, because he's holding him up by a string like a Teru Bozu doll. Brook is kind of surprised at the fact that Pudding is talking this way about him. Oh, there's another creature like this in all the world. He's soul art. For the time being, instead of throwing him in the museum, I'm going to hold on to him and walk around with him. And Brook's, no! Big Mom congratulating Pudding on her work with the Straw Hats. I never expected them to make it out of the seducing woods, but we managed to round them up and throw them into one of the books in the prisoner's library. And Pudding most that she just saw them and saw how pathetic they were. Are you just going to kill them off just like that? And Big Mom confirms that, yeah, after the ceremony. The Jeremites will be drowning in their drink right about now. I sent the barmaid over to them. And Pudding remarks that Reiju came snooping. She's got good intuition, but I dealt with her. Whoa, don't tell me you killed her. And Brook is just confused as hell, wondering what the hell this conversation is. Like, oh, come on, Mama. You don't really trust me, do you? It's just her leg. I saw her once and erased her memory. Big Mom knows that Pudding is their precious bride. If one of these fights goes south and she gets taken out, they're going to have a real problem. Of course, and Pudding thanks for the consideration and explains that she got to try out their gun. And there's no mistaking it. Doesn't matter if they're one of Jeremiah's modified humans. This thing will riddle them with holes. And Big Mom's is happy about this, and remarks that Pudding's shot will be their signal. And everyone's going to be focusing, as she explains, the plan is that everyone will be focusing on Pudding and Sanji for the big kiss. Sanji, with a stupid grin on his face, is going to lift the veil and kiss her. And then he'll see for the first time your third eye. He'll falter for a second. That's your opening. End him with a single shot. Right between the eyes. I'm actually get a picture of this in silhouette. Send his brains flying. The whole hall will be at a loss for words. Frozen. Until they'll sense the danger, it'll be too late. those barehanded Vinsmokes will already have countless guns at their back. And as soon as they cry out in terror, their blood will run. Gunshots will ring out endlessly like fireworks. A rain of bullets will drive through their long dead corpses. Pools of blood will spread out onto the floor. The almost recognizable bodies of 6 Vinsmokes sprawled out as the gunshots become our 21-gun salute. That's when the real party begins. Celebrate with cake, black tea. With their useless commanders dead, the Germa will be mine. In the 6th floor guest room, Sanji's room, some of the chess peacekeepers are looking in on Sanji and see someone sleeping in his bed. But it's actually that weird sombrero guy that's been acting as Sanji's little manservant. Like, oh dude, I fell asleep in Lord Sanji's bed. Is he not back yet? Alright then, I guess I'll just get some more sleep. In the 2nd floor meeting room, we have Count Zeidoktor talking to a meeting of Big Mom's children and all that. And they're explaining that they're kind of recapping this for us, putting like 6 people to the island. Brooke is with Big Mom. Pedro killed himself, which Tamago or Zeidoktor confirms. Okay. Just 2 down. And of the 4 that entered the seducing woods, Chopper and Carrot were reportedly captured by Brule. That was the last they'd heard from her. That's them dealt with. Then that leaves the problems of Nami and Luffy. I do believe we locked them up in the Persian library underground, but why are there rumors of their escape being spread around? And he also has Opera why there's rumors of Jinbei having appeared. But Opera is like just playing deny. Like, how many times do I have to say? I tried to he didn't even know where Jinbei is. Like, no one's come underground at all. As my mama told me, I tried to get Lola's whereabouts out of them, but they didn't know a thing, so I just burned them alive. I mean, maybe I was overdoing it, but don't tell me you're stupid suspecting your own brother. Meanwhile, in his own head, he's thinking, oh, there is no way in hell I can tell them I didn't guard the prisoners. Mama will kill him for sure. Right? So Mont'Or assumes that means he can cross them out, but he's not completely fooled. And as for Sanji and the Vinsmoke family, they're all confirmed as they sleep in their rooms. All the intruders are gone. The preparations for tomorrow are underway in a giant kitchen. And tomorrow, their sister pudding. Let's make it this one wedding to remember. But he does like whisper to the peacekeepers like to watch Opera. He does not trust him. In the 3rd floor infirmary, Rage is looking outside. In Sweet City itself, Luffy is making his way through the streets. Inside the chateau, Sanji's looking at the lunch basket he made for pudding. And he only just now realizing these are all of their favorite foods. Like, he's trying to convince them, just forget them. And someone sees him here. It was a short, but it was fulfilling life. Luffy and the others can make it out of here on their own. Every last soldier of the evil Vinsmoke will die, as will I. All go according to Big Mom's plans. It's for the best. We can't afford to rub her the wrong way. But as we do, we're seeing, I forget his name offhand. I'm not going to look it up right this second. But it's the guy with the, I think it was, let's see here. Let me see if I can find it really, really quickly here. Hang on. Sorry about this. I meant to look it up before I started recording. I completely forgot. Let's see, though. Big Emperor's Cruise. Okay, let's see here. Here we go. Bobbin, that's it. It was Bobbin. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so Bobbin approaches Sanji. Like, ooh, Vinsmoke Sanji, hey, aren't you supposed to be asleep in their room? But is he saying that he's also taking food out of the basket? Which Sanji instinctively screams out like, hands off! That meat ain't for you! And just kicks him straight into the wall. And he actually catches the meat that Bobbin was about to eat. nonchalantly. It's like Sanji looking down at him. It's like Bob is screaming, looking at him, "What the hell are you doing here?" And Sanji thinks to himself, "What am I doing?" Which one he grabs the basket and runs off. And the chapter ends with a little note that where he heads, he already knows. Because we saw a little flashback there of him remembering Luffy, like he's only going to eat the food Sanji makes. And if he's not coming back, he's going to starve to death. And in hindsight, it makes me realize that Luffy actually hit exactly the right button for Sanji to eventually come out of this. Because Sanji's big thing is he will not leave a starving person to starve, no matter what they are, or who they are, or what side they're on. So Luffy is hitting exactly the right button for this situation. It looks like he's finally got to his senses, though, which I'm assuming means he's going to go to Luffy. Though I half expect him to go to Luffy, feed him, and then come back, but we'll see about that. But like I said, this was definitely without question a transition chapter. Though it's kind of, I do like the fact that we're seeing kind of like the little holes in Big Mom's big plan here. Like mostly like all the stuff she thinks is already arranged are not what they look like. And thanks to her fearsome reputation and willingness to kill people who fail her, the ones who do know aren't talking. In fact, one thing I noted quickly here in this chapter was that Pudding is with Big Mom and Brooke. Everyone is deliberately keeping Big Mom in the dark about what's going on here, which means that the two people she knowingly revealed herself to without modifying their memories, Luffy and Nami, are running around ready to thwart her, and she has no idea. I mean, she already didn't know about Sanji, but still. But that's not. I don't count that one because she didn't know he was there in the first place. She knowingly revealed herself to those two, though. And then we got like a big old meeting of. I don't know if they're all Big Mom's children or if they're just like children and captains, leaders, and such. There's a nice little group here, though. It's like we see some of the ones you've seen already, like the Mademoiselle, whose name I forget offhand, Montd'Or. And there's also like this one guy like on the right side. So it looks like a big-headed pirate with a pipe. Like he almost looks like he's looking at the camera, so it's the quote-unquote camera here. Like I said, like we get a recap of where they think everybody is, and we know for a fact that everyone's wrong except for Brooke, because we know Mama is Brooke. They think Luffy and Nami are dead because of Opera, but they've actually escaped clean thanks to Jinbei. They think they think Chopper and Carrot are secured in the mirror world, but they've actually turned the tables on Brule, and they think Pedro is dead, but he's free and clear as well. So, yep. So I think in this case, like Pudding did kind of screw up the plans, but not in quite the way she was expecting, or at least not in the way I was expecting her to. So the big question now is just where exactly is Sanji headed? Like all indications suggest that he's heading for Luffy, but since that seems to be where everything's kind of headed for right now. But what I'm wondering now is if he's going to go to Luffy, feed him, and then come back. Like, not so much to go through the plan regardless, but at the very least, maybe do something about it. Like save his family or do something. At least save Reiju if no one else. We do get a nice tidbit here of Mont'Or not trusting Opera. Like, he knows something is up, he just doesn't know what it is. So that'll definitely be an interesting thing. And props to Brooke, though. Like I said, even though he got beaten by Big Mom, which is kind of a foregone conclusion, he apparently did manage to injure her top minions, her top homies, with Prometheus and Napoleon definitely showing damage. I didn't see anything with Zeus, but I could be wrong about that. I'm thinking next week might either end or hit the midway point with Sanji reaching Luffy. That's kind of what I'm expecting. That's all I'm really expecting right now. And I don't know if they'll be able to rescue Brooke just yet, but at the very least they'll be kind of looking for Sanji and Luffy for sure. Like the rest of our heroes. Yeah, transition chapters like this, there's no big reveals, just no big action to kind of comment on. Just kind of like getting ourselves narrated from A to B, so to speak. That's why I usually call them that, A to B chapters. We get some tidbits for setting up, though, but everything's still in setup phase. That said, I did like the little glimpse we got of Count Niwatori, the chicken man. Like a nice little mohawk thing going. Not quite a zone fruit, but it's kind of a weird thing nonetheless. Actually, I wonder if it does count as a zone fruit. Probably not. But I think with that we're good to go here. That ended the review of One Piece chapter 854. What the hell are you doing? Or what the hell am I doing, rather? Until next week, see you later, and bye-bye.